everyone. This is Adam. Sorry for my eyes. It's been a little bit sleepy. Welcome to another segment of Into the BAM. This time we're going to talk about budgets. It's one of those videos where during deployment, I taught my soldiers and around just a timeline of events between high school and undergrad. I either practice it or I taught somebody how to do it. And we're gonna go based upon some of the top five simple budgets from LendingTree. And then I kind of just had some of my commentary about it. It was basically give a summary. So the first one, zero base budget, simple, whatever you make, and then just div it up to everything in categories and everything just kind of balance it out. So, you could allocate for housing, medical, entertainment, whatever. The allocation budget is very traditional. I feel like the zero budget. Um, so yeah. Second one is pay yourself budget. A lot of interpretation for this one, at least from what I understand, history wise. A lot of it, when they say pay yourself, it's more or less you would put it into investments and then you would take care of your fixed cost goods, such as, not prescription, well, maybe prescription, subscriptions and car insurance, rent, and all that jazz. But you would focus more on whatever that gives you the highest cost. So, for example, for credit card, you pay the highest interest debt first, and then you basically build an emergency fund. But if people don't have debts, the pay yourself budget, how I interpret is basically put into a brokerage account. So yeah. The third one is the envelope system budget. Essentially this budget is basically just put money in an envelope, very traditional. Other methods include jar methods, and obviously there's more YouTube videos on that. But it's basically based on you, because people like to use cash, and the envelope is basically cash friendly. What I don't like about this one, and what I like and what I don't like, is that one, you can never go over limit your budget. It's basically like a cold turkey type of budget, to be quite honest with you. And then the other one is that this is what I like, I guess, is that the envelope system is very fixed, and it doesn't give any outside influence. So, for example, if you use a credit card for your daily spending purchase and you're paying the debts off right away, from your perspective, you're paying no interest. And then you're getting all the benefits of whether if it's a 2% cash back, 5%, or mileage, well, whatever reward system that you have, that's something that you're being utilized. The other one, number four, would be the 5-30-20 budget. Basically, you cut it down as 50% as necessary expenses. Then you have 30% just for yourself, and then 20% for your savings and debt. Not a lot of people can do the 20%. I know, like, even like growing up, I struggled with 5%, even 1% at one point. And so but that budget systems doesn't really work for a lot of people, but it's a good way to kind of just self-actualize, to be quite honest with you. And then the other one is basically the no budget. Basically, it's you just keep a eye on your checking account balance and then know when your recurring billing hits, and then just set cash aside in savings for extra debt payments. And so like but basically it's you just say no to everything. Reminds me of the fire method. But all these budgeting ones, you can, mix and match. I used an Excel spreadsheet from a zero sum perspective. The zero balance, I think the very first one. And whenever I go high on my credit cards, I do the number two method. But most importantly, I try to allocate a lot to my brokerage account and my HSA. Because for the HSA, you do have a limit of like $3,000 or $6,000 for if you're a family, $3,000 if you're an individual, and that money is basically has a perpetual growth when it comes to a tax perspective. And for your brokerage, it is after tax, but at the same time, it's money that you control, and you control the fees, you control the withdrawals and all that jazz. So whenever like I think of um like retirement, like in your brokerage account, you can also set aside a separate account for your IRA, your Roth, so you could put additional payments to it outside that is not really contingent to your, job and whatever 401k plans that you have in your work. Um, so yeah, so to me, the most important thing about a budget, it's not a silver bullet, and everyone has a different situation. You just have to be super cognizant over your cost of living, honestly. Because how I do it is me personally, going off book, is that I have specific credit cards for my purchase. For example, I have one for gas, just only for gas. I have another for food and groceries, and I had one for dining, and then one for extra shit, and then I have plenty of other stuff that have a zero balance, or at least have like less than 25% balance, just to improve my credit score. So that's something to keep in mind, because there are a lot of credit cards, like for example, like Best Buy, they have a 0% um, interest for a certain period of time. So essentially, you can budget forward. That's the one thing that a lot of like content out there doesn't really focus on, is budget forward credit cards, meaning it's 0% interest, and you just have to basically divvy up that payments in that payment cycle, because they're banking on the fact that you forget or you spend a lot more. So then once that term period ends, then the actual interest rate comes in, and they basically put you at a maximum interest. So like Amazon has a good one with Citi, because I use that a lot about my scuba set, and just allocated um, money according to the time. So that was pretty cool. But the Amazon card has it. Obviously, there's a lot of limitation. Credit card companies, they don't like to, um, what's the word? Gamble on that, especially if you have a good credit. So they try to limit the amount of 0% interest option for you. So that's something to worth consider. Um, I know some of you guys are, cash heavy, cash king or savings account, which is great. And others of you are just using finances as what it is. But not everyone's all the same. So just be cognizant. So if you have any questions or concern, just email us, comment us, whatever. Thanks, guys.